Abdominal Ultrasound and the Graduate Certificate in Emergency and Critical Care. In the spirit of reconciliation, the Ultrasound Education Group acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders peoples today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. My name's Elizabeth Hurley. I'm the manager of the Ultrasound Education Group. Also joining me from UEG is Camilla Santos. Camilla will be assisting me in the administration of this course throughout the year. Once again, just a couple of housekeeping items. If you could all keep your selves on mute just until the question and answer session. You can pop your questions in the chat and someone will respond to them, or you can wait till the end of the session to ask your question. And again, this presentation will be recorded. So if you miss anything, you can see it later via your learning portal. Tonight, I will also introduce Drs. Kylie Kellers and Kathy Beck. We will also go through how to use your learning portal. I'll talk about the different ways you can communicate with us, and we'll finish off with questions and answers. Great. So joining us is Dr. Kylie Kellers, a course coordinator and senior lecturer in emergency and critical care. Over to you, Kylie.
Unmute myself first. Hi everyone, my name's Kylie. So I'm the academic support for emergency and critical care course. Just a little bit of background about myself. I started off in general practice, in country practice actually, so doing all sorts of things before I decided to do a residency in emergency at the University of Melbourne, and essentially never left. So did lots of study and became a fellow of the Australian New Zealand College of Veterinary Sciences in emergency and critical care, and I've been teaching and working as a clinician in critical care and emergency for many years now, so long time. The area of emergency and critical care is very, very broad, and so there is a lot of content in this particular course, but just depth-wise, as far as the depth of the learning and the extent of the knowledge of the course, the aim is to take you beyond what you learn at vet school and get you to a point where you're at about the equivalent of membership level of emergency and critical care. So if you were preparing for membership exams, for instance, the aim is to kind of cover all of the learning objectives for membership and to get you to a much more advanced level than you would be knowledge-wise and practically speaking-wise than if you hadn't done that further study. So the course is designed to kind of introduce that depth of knowledge, but also to introduce a lot of practical skills and a lot of tips as far as what you can kind of do in practice with these sorts of patients, quite challenging patients. That's all I've got to say. So if there's any questions about the course, please ask. You can ask tonight. We do have a chat group for this course as well, which I'll be setting up as soon as I've got everyone's email addresses. You'll get an invite to the course chat group and you'll be able to connect with your peers and also with me through that chat group. And you can also email questions and stuff along the way. So we'll be there to support you throughout the course. Thanks, Elizabeth. Back to you.
Thanks, Kylie. Thank you. Next, we're going to hear from Kathy Beck. Over to you, Kathy.
Thanks, Elizabeth. So hello, good evening, everybody. So my name is Kathy Beck and I am the academic support for the grad certificate in small animal ultrasound. A bit of my background, I wanted to be a horse vet and then I quickly realised that they die all the time, but imaging them is a lot of fun. So that's how I got into imaging. And so I started at the University of Melbourne back in 1997. And so it's been a very long, 96 actually, been a very long time at the University of Melbourne. So the ultrasound course starts with some physics and Some people find that a bit of a struggle and a little bit boring, but you have to have an understanding of the physics before you can go forth and understand the technology and how to best interpret the images that you're seeing. So stick with it in the physics part. I know it can be a little tedious, but you do need it to be able to understand the artifacts, because some of the artifacts can be very, very helpful and some of them can be very annoying. And understanding the physics helps you with all of the understanding the artifacts and interpretation of the images. So this course builds your skills. The whole course is really required to get to the end of the abdomen, and over the year or the 2 years, you'll build the skills for each organ. And so it is a slow process, but learning ultrasound is a slow process. But the thing that will help you the most is getting hands-on scanning. So take every opportunity that you can in your practice to just scan a patient prior to a SPAY, for example. Use ultrasound to do a cystocentesis and build the skills through the year. We will this year set up a chat group as well that's primarily for peer support. If you have a specific question for me, could you please email me through the Ultrasound Education Group? So thank you. And so any questions, we'll answer those at the end. So back to you, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. So the presentation is going to be quite short, but that leaves a lot of time for questions. We'll go through a bit of the learning portal navigation. So for those who were with us last year, this is a new learning portal, and for everyone else, welcome. We've just got a quick little sort of image of what the learning portal, the key points from the learning portal are here, and we'll just go to the actual portal. So this is what you'll see when you first log on. Obviously, no one will see both courses because you're only ever doing one course. The first thing you'll notice is both of them have a subject list and a start button. The subject list will display the subjects that you are doing. So if you click on that, and then from there you can navigate through to the subject that you want to study at that time. You will only see the subjects that you're studying. This person is enrolled in 4 subjects, so they can see all 4 subjects. And at the top, you can navigate to the other subjects just through that drop button if you're studying more than one subject in that semester. So from the home screen, you can also click on the Start button. Now, the Start button will only appear the first time you log into this course. So when you click on it, it will take you to the study guide of the first subject you are studying. Eventually. Maybe. The next time you log on, that Start button will change to a Resume button, and every time you log on, you can click on the Resume button and it will take you back to the place where you left off the last time you were studying. Hopefully.
It's the internet, everyone. It's not the portal problem. Bear with me.
Once we get back to the home screen, you'll also be able, hopefully everyone's had a bit of time to log in, and what you won't see at this point is those tiles, but you will hopefully see the notices and events just on the right hand side, and that's where we post important information. For example, at the moment you won't see your course materials till the 1st of March, which is the first day of semester. So that's where that notice is. We'll post things like the census date of your course, the start date of exams, and everything else that might be important for you to note. So should we try the Start button again?
Yes, of course. One moment. I can do that. Start.
Oh, can you try it on the other course?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And then when we go back to the home screen, you'll see that the start button has now changed to resume. Great, so that is just, hopefully the portal was quite intuitive and easy to use, but any feedback from everyone is more than appreciated. So the next thing we'll talk about is just communication with us, and also just a couple of handy tips that we've picked up along the way. One of the key things we've noticed is that there's a bit of confusion when students first enrol with the University of Melbourne, and that comes around subject selection. A lot of the times we find that people select the subjects that they want to do during the course, which they think they'll study over the whole year. But sadly, the way the University of Melbourne has set things up, you're actually enrolling in all 4 subjects for semester 1. So the best place to check which subjects you are enrolled in for semester 1 is via the student portal, or otherwise known as My Uni Melb. We've just got a couple of little diagrams at the bottom there, just of the student portal, and then on the right-hand side, it just shows sort of the subject selection. And all the subjects are offered in both semester 1 and 2. So you can do them in any order. You can do 1 subject a semester. Some people do 4 subjects a semester, which is all fine. We ask that if you like, you email us your mobile number, because we will send text messages to you, just reminders about census date, exam dates, and the exam closing times. We don't spam you, it's just important messages. The other thing we do is we email your personal email with important information, but we also email you at student.unimelb.edu.au. It is your obligation to check that email once a week, because the emails are not just from the Ultrasound Education Group, but they're also important information from the University of Melbourne. So I'll just talk quickly about exams and logbooks. So the exams are multiple choice questions, and for semester 1, they start on the 7th of June and the exam period finishes on the 14th of June. You have that whole week to complete your exam, and you don't need to complete the exam in one sitting. You can start it and the system will remember your answers, and you can come back at a later date, change your answers, or finish the exam. The exam is not completed until you click submit, or until 11:59 p.m. on the 14th of June. The other thing we just like to remind people about is logbooks. Logbooks are required for the graduate certificate in small animal ultrasound abdominal. You need to do 50 logbooks over the course of the course. So by the end of the exam period for your final subject in the course, you need to have completed your 50 logbooks. You submit the logbooks through the learning portal, and there'll be just a little tile at the bottom of your subject saying logbook, and you can submit it through there. We recommend that you submit them throughout the course, just so at the end of the final exam period, you're not frantically trying to submit 50 logbooks to us.
Can I just add to that?
Yeah, sure.
With respect to the logbooks, you don't have to log a case that is an entire abdominal scan. So you could log a case where you've done a pregnancy scan. We've used ultrasound to do cystocentesis, particularly in the early stages of the course when you're building your skills. And one of the ideas of the logbook is for you to see the progression of your skills over the course. So don't be anxious at the beginning that I can't log a whole case. We don't expect that. Just log what you're doing, and hopefully over the period of the course, you'll see the progression.
Great, thank you. The other important date I just want to bring to your attention is the census date. That is the 31st of March 2021 for semester 1. That is the last date you have to withdraw from a subject or change a subject or enroll into a subject. If you don't do any of these things before this date, there may be financial or academic penalties applied. So please check that you are only enrolled in the subjects that you wish to enroll in for semester 1. Great. So that's the end of our presentation. We will just now move into questions, and we've already had one question just about how to send us your mobile number. So if you would like to submit your mobile number to us to receive text, you just need to send an email to mobile-learning@unimel.edu.au. Just your name and your mobile number is sufficient. Great. So does anyone have any other questions they might want to ask? You can type it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask the question in real life. Oh, good. We must have covered anything.
Oh, sorry.
Everything.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just have one question. Sorry, I'm Jane. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. I was just going to double check. So with the enrolling in the subjects, so I'm doing it part-time, 2 subjects each semester, so I've enrolled in all of them at the moment. Is that correct?
I would recommend just checking your student portal to make sure you have only got 2 subjects for semester 1 and 2 subjects for semester 2, because this is what happens, and I'm glad you brought it up. We have also sent emails to everyone, so you should have received 4 emails, and it should say which semester each subject is for. So as long as that's correct, everything should be fine.
That looks fine then. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Great, thank you.
There's a question. There's a question come through about the logbooks for the cases. So thanks, Minley, for the question. No, you don't have to upload an ultrasound image. A case description and your reflections is sufficient. So you don't need to image unless you'd like to send one. Thank you. I think the other questions are admin questions, Elizabeth and Camilla.
Yes.
Let's see.
Sarah says, when I enrolled, I contacted the online chat to ask how to do that. And I was told that I can only study part-time, so 2 subjects per semester. Did I understand correctly that you could actually do 4 subjects per semester? Indeed.
You can ask for permission to do 4 subjects a semester. If, for whatever reason, some people may be able to. Right. So you can do 4 subjects a semester. You just need to ask for permission. So if that's something you want to do, just contact us, Sarah, and we can help you out with that. So just email us at mobile-learning. With regards to I'll go to Sarah's next question. There is extensions available on the exam. We can provide you with up to a 2-week extension. Under the circumstances you're explaining, we could probably help you out further if you needed to. Fingers crossed, we don't need to help you out.
Sarah, which course are you doing? You can say it or type it. Okay.
Yeah. I'll just make a comment about the workload for ECC. So the reason that part-time study and taking the full year is recommended is because a lot of people are working and trying to juggle study and work. And we have had some students in the past get quite overwhelmed with keeping up with that. And I guess the one thing that we don't want you to do is to burn out or to not be able to feel like you're finished or to add additional stress to your life. Studying should be fun, and it should be something that you want to do, and that it shouldn't be this huge burden or stress. And I think if you're juggling life and work and study all at the same time, it can be really very, very challenging to take on full-time study. So you do have the option, but I think it's going to be up to the individual. Full-time study is not going to be for everyone that's working. And my kind of recommendation for ECC is that you allow about 5 hours a week per subject. So if you were doing 4 subjects at the same time, that's 20 hours on top of your normal work-life load, which is, I think, quite a lot for a lot of people. So that's why we've got, the part-time recommendation there. So just, I guess, whatever works for you, really. And I guess the other thing that ECC is I do really like people to do subject 1 first before moving on to the other subjects, because all the foundations are in subject 1 and we build on that with the other subjects.
And that's the same with the ultrasound philosophy.
Great. We've also had a question from Jen, who can't see anything in their portal. You won't be able to see anything till the 1st of March when the learning units are released. So they will be released on the 1st of March for you all to see. Great. Any other questions that people have? So again, I guess one of the key takeaways is the census date is the 31st of March, so make sure you are only enrolled in the subjects that you want to do for semester 1 by the 31st of March. Don't worry, we'll text you and we'll put a message in the portal so you don't forget that date.
If something is unclear, I'm more than happy to check anything you need to check. So just email us if you're in doubt. I can't see, it's not clear, etc. Just let me know and I can send you a quick confirmation. These are your enrollments and you can just make a decision if that's what you want to do for the semester.
Great. And we have another question. Is the portal the same as my uni Melb? Now, the University of Melbourne has multiple portals that we use. The main one is Canvas. We do not use Canvas at all. We have our own portal. So you should have received an email from the ultrasound or from Mobile Learning asking you to activate your account. I think Camilla might be able to show us a picture of what that email might look like. So if you haven't got that email, please let us know because that's how you get into your learning portal. If anyone refers to Canvas, it is the wrong portal. It is something that we struggle with, sadly, but hopefully we've resolved it.
Yeah, I think the University of Melbourne calls the My UniMelb the student portal as well. So
right, good.
The terminology is a little bit common, but once you find your way around things, you'll all be fine. But please just ask for help. Don't sit at home getting frustrated or confused. Reach out and ask for help, and we'll help you as quickly as we can to get through everything.
Thank you. So, if you can't see anything on the 1st of March, contact us right away because that is the day you should be able to see stuff. So this is the email. As we can see, my cat, Mr. Fitzwilliam, is enrolled to do the graduate certificate, and this was his activation email. And it comes from Getting Started at HeartWeb. So I see that someone, Minley, hasn't received that. So I'll just make a note of that now and make sure that I send it tonight. So if you haven't got it tomorrow, Minley, please let us know.
And while we are showing emails, I will just show the other one that confirms the subjects.
Oh, great, yes.
Yeah. if you can keep an eye on this email, you will receive one of these per subject that you are enrolled. So you will state you have enrolled in 2, and then it will say semester 1, and then it will say which subject you have for semester 1. And if you enrolled in all the 4 subjects, you will receive 4 of those emails. So please open all of them, because the message is a little bit different just because it shows each of the subjects.
Okay, so I've just taken a note of the other people who said they didn't receive the email. So check your junk, but we will send it again tonight before we leave. We have another question about the old portal. It's a great question. Thank you for asking. We will be communicating this to everyone who studied last year, but the old portal will be disabled on the 31st of March. We can still give you access to the new portal, so you have access to all the up-to-date information that everyone has access to. So for any subjects you studied last year, you will still have access to them this year. And we will send correspondence with regard to that in March. You do have lifetime access to these subjects. No matter which portal we're in, we will make sure you have access. Okay, and Jen hasn't got anything. Hannah has asked if the subjects need to be done in chronological order.
Hannah, I'm not sure which course you're doing, but certainly for the ultrasound course, yes, they do.
And for ECC, you just need to do subject 1 first, and then the other subjects you can do in any order. So just as I think if you don't do subject 1 first in ECC, then some of the concepts in the latter subjects will be a little bit more difficult. But after subject 1, you can mix it up if you want to.
Thank you. And we did have a question from Kerry. Is it fine to have enrolled in all 4 subjects for the year, or do I just have to... Oh, Kerry, you can enroll in all 4 subjects for the year. That is fine. We just want to, because we find the portal where people select subjects a little confusing and not necessarily intuitive, we just recommend that you check the emails we have sent to make sure you are not doing all 4 subjects in semester 1. It's fine to enroll in all 4 subjects for the year. Good. And Dominic, I've made a note, and Jen, I've made a note just about the fact that you haven't got your emails. Oh, lots of questions. This is good. Any other questions? Okay, Nicole, I will have a look into that for you. Thank you. So just remember, if you have any questions, please email us at mobile-learning@udmel.edu.au. We will help you as much as we can, and if we don't know the answer, then we will find out what the answer is or who the right person is to speak to about it. The key is we want you to enjoy this course, these courses, and we want you to do well. We want everyone to pass and have a good time doing it. So, yeah, if there's no other questions, I will let you enjoy your windy Melbourne night. Besides from that, thanks for coming, everyone. I'll stay on for a few more minutes if anyone does want to ask questions, but I'll send off those emails now as well. Thank you, Kathy and Kylie, for coming.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Camilla. Thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you, everyone. And I hope you enjoy the courses.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.